31, the act limit is just a discussion and direction.
In the broader scheme of things, there have been lots of discussion. We did receive an application for a business license for a marijuana dispensary, and also an application for a code compliance letter. That has been answered, which is basically just a review of your existing city code as far as that type of business goes. And I guess the unfortunate part of that is there are no restrictions. The business license can't be issued until they have a state license anyway. In the meantime, and the information has been passed on to the applicant, that the state of Oregon passed this bill on last Friday. The Senate passed it. It's still sitting on the governor's desk, but has not been signed at this point. But it does allow the city the authority to put a moratorium in place on the operation of it. So you would not have to do a business license or answer the question ultimately of how our business license code fits with federal law and this type of endeavor. And so I guess the question at this point to you folks, and I've heard plenty of chatter all over, is whether you want to direct your staff, which would be the city attorney and I, to prepare an ordinance for you folks that would put a moratorium in place on this type of business up until May 1st of 2015.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
I would too.
Me too.
A lot of constituents have voiced the same thing.
But at the same time, I would also like to take a look at how much revenue would be available from this, because I, of course, am seeking revenue for police protection. I see this as a possibility.
Now, what do we
That's
do? We
still
make a
great,
motion to
too.
direct you to
Yes,
that?
you make a motion to direct me to do that, and I will handle it.
So make a motion that that Cursick and the lawyer go through with looking into this for us, making up the ordinance. Yeah.
I'll second it.
Bert made the motion, Bob seconded. The motion to instruct Curtis to proceed with a document for the moratorium on medical marijuana.
I'd just like to have some discussion on the sidebar that Charlene brought up about a fee or business licensing as a revenue source. Do we know anything about that?
Your business licenses are only $20 fees.
Oh, just like the same as the normal one. It wouldn't be like.
As far as what the state of Oregon ultimately will do with what income they derive from this process and the fees that they're charging the people going to this business, as far as I know, it has not been decided yet, which is one of those things that will continue to go on, even in the state of Washington, where, I don't want to say it's good, but they're ahead of this process a little farther. They're currently fighting over some $200 million that's coming into the state and don't know what they're going to do with it. I have scheduled myself to go to, I don't know what they're calling it, it sounds bad. I think a marijuana summit or something, May 1st.
That'll be a party.
Up in Portland, put on by the League of Oregon Cities. I don't think we're going to tour the district or anything, but the good part about that will be the folks from the U.S. Attorney General's office will be there to deal with the federal Ps. There'll be people from Washington and California and attorneys that are hired by the League of Oregon Cities to basically help jurisdictions all that are dealing with the same subject matter. As far as I know, looking at the list on the website, there was 4 applications that were received by the state of Coos County.
Well, and one thing I'd like to point out in tracking what's been going on in Denver, the first month of legalization, they brought in $3.5 million in tax revenue. And in talking to the gentleman who wants to own the dispensary, he said approximately he would have to pay taxes on the sale of the medicinals, which of course is only for people who have the card. He said approximately $20,000 every 3 months that goes to the state into a pot, and they have not decided how that's to be divvied up yet. So whether we have access to and rights to that money is to be seen. But certainly I'm looking at a situation where if we can have access to funds to bring in police protection. I'm looking at all options here, because I think that the police protection in this town is really our #1 problem.
Okay, so basically, it's not a good source of revenue, right?
Not a defined one, which.
We can't say if you want one, you gotta pay the city $1,000.
No, you have to do something. Every business in
We
town.
get to go by your days.
Okay,
Well, it
what
sounds
other,
really good.
Yeah.
okay,
All right.
any
No
other,
cash cow.
any other discussion on that? None, okay. All in favor of